Señoras y señores, buenas noches, buenas tardes, buenos días, that's good night, good day, wherever you are, whatever you are watching. I wanted to, first of all, send some high vibrations and some healing energy out to you wherever you are. Hola Alexandra, hola Mo Life, hola Mubina, hola Jay. It is so good to see all of you. Mo Life, how you been? We have to gather soon. 2017 is when I will be seeing all of you. Hola Dawn. So I want to clear some space in the name of the ancestors and Most High and all of the divine guidance. Ache, Ache, Ache 13. I use the number 13 because it is a power number, the number of the divine feminine, the number of rebirth. So I'm making this today. I am inviting all of the ancestors to come in and hang out and impress their energy upon this little meeting that we're having today. All of this space is cleared of any form of negative vibrating energy. It will not exist among us. Ache, ache, ache. So how is everybody doing? I need to today is November 20th. Today's the 26th, right? Ola Damien. So it is a very challenging time for a lot of people, and we feel it, and this is a subject that I talk about a lot. Hola Yvette, but it is really important for me to talk about it on the perspective of just how I deal with certain things and the things that happen in my life, because a lot of people are under the impression that, because you see videos, you are seeing all parts of me. Well, no, this is just a few moments of who I am and what I'm able to express in this space and time. But before I get to this point, it does take some preparation, and it's not, people have an idea and a perception of other people and what they think it is, and then they put that on themselves, and we become very hard on ourselves because we have this expectation to be like somebody else, or to be able to, just be like super powerful all the time without any low times. Those low times are going to happen, and the low times, where the things that strike me is when it has to do with like my family. For example, my son. I have a 24-year-old son who has autism, who's not able to be with me at this time. And for me to not be able to move in that, for me to have to deal with that situation, shows me that that's exactly what I have to do, is deal with it until I'm able to transform it in another way. Everything happens for a reason, because it's happening in my life. But just because I have the knowledge of that, it doesn't make it easier to deal with the emotions. I'm level-headed. I'm able to, in logic, say, okay, this is how I'm going to move. This is the direction that I'm going to go in. But the emotion is there, and it has to be completely absorbed in order for me to know in what direction to move in. So I'm grateful for that part of the challenge. It's not one that, I don't want to miss my son today. he was he was just telling me that, and this is a young man who was not able to express himself before because of the autism. He wasn't able, and autism affects the neurological system, and so he wasn't really able to express himself. And his father and I, our entire family, worked on him, keeping him away from medicines. And due to some of the things that have happened in our lives, like the county of San Bernardino, when they kidnapped our my father-in-law, and they claimed the house, they took everything, they left us completely. I mean, it was a great loss that my family suffered, and that's the reason why Lucas is in the place where he is in now. But it wasn't a time to feel like woe is me. It wasn't a time to say to let that situation defeat me. It gave me more fire. It gave me the inspiration to learn about my rights, about my son's rights, about my family's rights. So I had to go through that in order for me to go through the process of learning who I am and learning how to defend that. So in that, a lot of things, life goes on and life continues to happen. So you have to sustain yourself. And when you have a vision to do something and it's not happening, you know, exactly what you want it to happen, because if it were to happen right now, I could be with my son right now. It's not that way. So what do? I can't succumb to that. I can't succumb to the vibration of that pain, and that emotion of wanting something that I am physically unable to have. So I have to transform that energy, and it takes work. And what happened in my situation is that because of all of the things that occurred in my family and throughout my life, I had to keep going, right? That's what you do. You got to keep going. And so you don't think of yourself as being depressed or being, like, I went to a naturopath, and when I went to the naturopath, among all of the things that were going on, my thyroidism, all of these different things that have been affecting me, my spirit was different because I was moving and moving, and I've always done what I have to do. But my body was reacting differently to the occurrences of my life. And that's what happens to a lot of people. It's like we start, getting all of these challenges and dealing with them and dealing with them, but we're not really dealing with them. We're just absorbing them. And we absorb them, and then they start showing up in our bodies as a sickness. So, when that naturopath told me that I was depressed, I was like, are you kidding? I'm not depressed. I'm good. Like, I ain't, I'm not crying every day. I'm not trying to kill myself. I'm like, and then I stopped and I started thinking, and I'm like, I can't argue with what your DNA is saying, you know what I mean? Or with what my body's saying. It's like um, I'm at a very heavy weight right now for myself, which is very difficult. It's a challenge for me to deal with that. And that's another one of those things that I have to transform, because when it comes to thyroidism, that's your immune system is jacked up. You could eat a leaf and your body is not going to move. Nothing's going to happen. And it's been like that for the past 3 years now. So it's been a very intense challenge. But again, these challenges are part of what has to happen for my process. So you have to recognize where you are in the process. And I just wanted to mention the thing about depression, because there's a lot of people that don't realize that you are depressed and that you're feeling, that your body is feeling depressed. And so this healing is only a healing that could come from you. There was a time when I was in my 20s that I was going through something similar. And at that time, I believed in doctors. I did the whole doctor thing. I did the birth control, all of that stuff. And so they gave me a medicine called Paxil. And this Paxil really showed me what depression really was, because on that medication made me want to kill myself, like, for real. So traditional medicine does not treat any kind of depression. They give you things to mask it. They give you things to hide, the symptoms. But when that state of being, when that depression is still in you and you're just covering it, it still exists in you. It's going to start affecting other areas of your body, and it's going to produce other kinds of sicknesses. So it's of extreme importance to know that this process and this journey of self mastery and self healing, it is a lifelong process. It's not something that you're going to say, I went to this workshop, I had a study group, and then I came back home, and now my life is great. I'm good. I meditate every day, and life is fantastic. It is not. That's not really how it is. It's like you can make it that way, but it is a process of having to work on it every single day in your own healing, finding out what it is that's going on within you so that you can start dealing with it and healing it. And you begin to heal it just by knowing what it is and taking action within it. And the way that I take action when I start feeling the low vibration, the first thing that I do is I take my mind to another place. I take my mind to a place of joy. Music is definitely an excellent healing tool to use for those low vibrating feelings, those depressing feelings. And you don't want to play music that's going to make you more depressed. You know what I mean? It's like if you playing the blues, guess what you're going to be feeling like? You're going to be feeling like you need a little bottle of Jack Daniels or something to perk you up. But that really don't perk you up, does it, right? Because spirits are like a depressant. So there are other things that you could do. There are herbal teas that you can drink that are gonna heighten your and stimulate you. So there's a lot of herbal remedies that you can do outside of taking what a doctor would prescribe. Ja says, true indeed, self healing. Jay says, functionally depressed. Yes. And it's something that, I'm going to keep it real with y'all. For me, my ego was like, no, I'm not depressed, motherfucker. Like, ew, who's depressed? Don't nobody got no time for being depressed, and it was like, it was very difficult for me to, you know, to own that. And also because I didn't want to own it, because I also believe that if I believe that, then that'll really come true. And I'm not really feeling like that's an energy that I want to exist in. So I was in denial of it, but I had to, back it up and think about it and, look at what was going on in my life. Look at what was making me feel that way. And it was many things. It was so many things. Detaching from a whole system that you thought was one thing and you learned that it was something else. It's an extremely difficult thing to do. But I had to do it. And in that detachment, you have tremendous challenges. You have to have a plan for yourself. So that means that you got to know what you're good at. You got to know what can you do. It is in any situation. You have to be able to sustain yourself, and we are made for that. And I know that, and so that's what I went after. But it is not for everybody. It's not for everybody. It's like I know that having that plush, comfortable job somewhere, and knowing that somebody's gonna give you a check that could be. Well, I didn't like it. I lived in that. I didn't like it. That was uncomfortable for me because, I gotten fired a few times in my career. So it's like you gotta, but it gave me good practice to start over. And so in going to this aspect of it, it was like do or die. It's like no straddling the fence. So I had to do it. Jay says, do you feel like these videos are in any way therapeutic? Ache, Ache, power to you and power to me. I do these videos because it is therapeutic. I feel that, and I always make sure that I tell anybody that's watching, do your research, write your journals, listen to your intuition, because that's the way that you're going to heal. This is my story. This is my expression of the things that I have done, and being able to share it with other people gives me a feeling of like I was able to figure something out, and then I was able to share it so that other people that may be figuring it out too can maybe get there quicker, can maybe get there a little bit easier. But it is for me first and foremost, and I have to say that I think that selfishness and self healing is very powerful and is very important. I find myself always giving myself away. I've given myself away for all my life, and at almost 46 years old, I am just now, for the past, 3.5 years, been learning how to give myself to me. And it's when you spend a lifetime of doing that, and it's even before this lifetime, because this is the way that women have been treated. Our ancestors have had this program for centuries. That we have to. It's outside. You gotta nurture. You gotta give. You gotta do that. But then who's nurturing you? And then we get mad at the people that we think are supposed to be our nurturers, and they fail us. So then we get upset, and it's that whole same roller coaster again. So it's important to know that nurturing has to come from within. It has to come from you. And when you give it to yourself, you start getting it from all other sources. But it really truly does begin with you. So I definitely, the things that I do it because it makes me feel good. So today it was one of those days where it was like I had to, come do my routine, and I have a routine that I do every day. I do my meditations. I do my, I think about moving forward, what it is that I'm going to do. Because when you're in a situation where it kind of feels like you may be immobile, and the only thing that you have is your mind to move your project, to move your vision, you have to use your mind. And that means spending that time that you have, that you're like, well, I can't, I can't drive right now, or I can't go over here. I can't, I feel limited. That feeling is the tough one. And that's one that I had to deal with quite a bit. And so what you do in that feeling is you use it. So I use my mind to take me wherever it is that I want to go, where I want to be. And I stay diligent in that process of planning and strategizing and knowing and learning and studying, so and those are the things that keep me motivated and bring my vibration up. And so when I'm feeling at my highest, I'm like, let me shoot it back out to y'all. But I can't, like, I can say right now in this moment, it's that there's a heaviness in me. There's a heaviness that feels like if you say the right thing to me right now, like, I will, like, if you show me the right situation, I will just let it all out, and I'll just be crying for like an hour. That's how I feel. But I don't have anything to, like, I already know where I am, and I recognize what these feelings are. So I'm able to use these feelings in another way, but I still feel them. You know what I mean? I know what it is. I know what it is to hurt. I know what it is to, feel like, like you want to, you know, lots of feelings. I know a lot of feelings. Mubina says, I chate to that. Welcome, Jay Green. So, I wanted to say, those of you that were at the Master Vibration Study Group last night, it was a very intimate setting. Hola, Amala. Amala says, selfish is self-healing. Profound statement. Moi. Ache, Amala. So the session last night was fantastic. And anything that I do it for me first. So when I sit there and I have that time to spend with people, I want to know what's going on. I want to listen to what things you're doing and what things you're going through. I want to learn from your healing just as you're learning from mine. And so it was a great time. And we had Miss Smokey came by, and she shared some information. And it's like when you have people that have the gifts of vision and messages and stuff like that, those messages don't stop. Like, you can't say, you're not paying me, so I can't give you this message. It doesn't work like that. Because when you're working with the divine, with the ethers and these other dimensions, these messages come in, like, they're constantly coming in your head. And you cannot, the only way to get rid of them is to deliver the message, is to express the message, and so what happens is that what a lot of oracles do, a lot of readers and messengers do, we stay to ourselves, and we don't connect with a lot of people, and we are very Like with my time, I don't play with my time. Like it's like I don't answer my phone unless I know who it is. I don't I can't turn somebody away because they didn't pay my consultation fee. And because I know how I am, I know that I have to stand and defend my ground of how I wish to work with this energy and with the people that come, around me. So that's all I had to say about that. I don't even know why I was saying that. Oh, I think I was saying that because I was talking about the selfishness and last night the healing session. Oh no, and I was talking about Smokey. How Smokey came and she gave a reading and she gave her time, and I appreciate that so much. And it's the world that we really want to build. That is where we want to be, where we can give from our hearts and because we enjoy it. But there are a lot of people out there that want to suck on that and take from that, and they don't even do it consciously. It's a subconscious sucking. You know what I mean? It's like people, they, as soon as you have an open ear, they want to give you absolutely everything that's gone on in their life, everything that they're going through, everything. They want your help, they want your light, they want to connect and attach to you, and it's a wonderful thing to be able to help someone. But people really have to learn how to help themselves, and in order for them to do that, it is tough love, and we do have to teach people how to fish. You know what I mean? We have to give people that information that will allow them to be free as well, so that they're not dependent upon you for their healing. You know what I mean? And then it makes it easier for us to be around with each other because the sensitivities have heightened tremendously. And I know that a lot of you Ooh, I know a lot of you have felt it because I have talked to some of my clients privately and the things that they have gone through just through the holidays and having to suck up things and deal with things because it's family, because it's just what you do, because it's tradition. It is a time now where you can't really take it. You have to make it. If you continue to choose that, then that's going to continue to appear in your life. If you continue to allow people to run over you, that's going to continue to appear in your life. That is what's happening right now, and it's happening very fast. So we're manifesting instantaneously. So I know a lot of you have thought about how you're going to operate from now on, and putting yourself first in terms of what you're willing to sacrifice. Hola, Jacqueline. I was and I'm only going to touch on this for a minute. Okay, let me go back to what you guys are saying because I don't want to ignore you. Jay says heavy chest. Yeah, like a heavy gut, like in my root, and yeah, in my chest, very much because I feel it in my heart. Like I'm feeling very empathic. I like it, like I want to cry. Don says, I feel we're paying for karma from past lives, unresolved or untaken paths. We must experience to become a god because right now we're only masters with lessons within this form we're in. I say to that. And yes, we all have our own individual paths. And that's what it is. It's like you got to recognize that it's like your path is your own. So we have to release any expectations that we have from other people to provide for us or to sustain us. It has to come from ourselves, and we reflect that, and then we start getting what we need. Mubina says, I appreciate you both so very much. Yesterday's study group was very empowering for me. These moments that we share really help me to keep my energies and frequencies up. I appreciate you, Mubina, and it helps me as well, tremendously. And that's what it's about. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today, is that, you see me in a happy mood. It's not always like I have to work. I have to work on seeing the vision. I have to work on maintaining myself in a high vibrating state so that I can align myself with that I seek, with what I want. Josh says, I had feeling the other. I knew it was low frequency vibration. I took a walk. That's the best thing that you could do. Take a walk, dance, sing a song, jump around, do a workout, drink water. take a sip of water. Lucas would always tell me whenever he felt that I was feeling sad. He was like, "Mom, you want some water?" And I'd always take his water. But yeah, that was just a tough one for me today. He calls me up and he's like, "I miss you, Mom." And it's like when he says that, it's like, this is coming from someone who, until the age of 11, was not able to express himself because of, the autism and what these vaccinations did. So he has come such a long way. And for him to be able to express himself in that way, to me, I know that it's authentic and it's tough. He tells me that it's tough to be without us. It's tough to be without the family. And I know that it's tough. And it's the hardest thing I've ever had to do, hands down. But I know that it's going to be over soon. That time, we will be reunited in 2017, and it is that process in between, that waiting period, that is very challenging as well. And so that's what it is. Josh says, no, Ron says dancing is good. Yes, dancing is fantastic. I dance all the time. I come in here, I need to get my little dance on. I will get my dance on. Um, Dancing is it's a way to connect to your spiritual self. When you start making those movements and you have your chakras moving, and whether it's a soft grounding gyrating movement, or whether it's like a heavy fast movement, as long as you get your body going, you start to get your healing from it. It wasn't depressing, Josh says. The body was like an extra workout. That's good. That's good. I'm glad. Don says it makes me happy. What makes you happy, Don? All right. I'm gonna go, y'all, cause see, y'all keep, and this is why I stay. Those of you guys that watch my videos, y'all know it's like I start making a video and then I can't even leave. It's like because I am getting something out of it. I'm enjoying the interaction that we're having, and really being able to express myself, being able to express how I feel. Jay says, appreciate your candidness. The candidness. Thank you. And Ache, that one is a hard one. That one's like, being candid is like you're constantly stepping out, confronting your fear, because it's like you're going to say something and you truly have to be okay with whatever comes back with what comes out of your mouth. So, hola, Vlad. Yes, I've been giving love to my hair, and I braided it last night, and then I just played around with it. I took it out of the braids, and this is what it looks like with a braid. So I appreciate the ease and the comfort of being able to wear my afro, because trust and believe, it's getting a little easier now, but when I go outside in my afro, their looks come with that. But I think people are pretty used to it by now, because it's a lot of us sporting our natural hair right now. Um, So, if no one has any questions, I'm going to skedaddle. I will invite you to come to my Master Vibration study group. I am live every Friday, and it is a private study group. So, you have to come to OrgonEnergySelfHealing.com, and you can subscribe to the group. And once you subscribe, you will get the information on how to tap into the conference call on Fridays at 7 p.m. I'm looking forward to sharing updates on the Oregon Energy Self Healing Center and what is happening with that. Again, that waiting game is I just can't wait. But patience is a virtue. So, this Friday coming up, we're going to be talking about depression. We're going to be talking about healing that and more symptoms of it. And so we'll get in depth with it, and we'll talk about ways for you to, figure out, if that's really going on with you, and also some resources where you can get to a naturopath that can help you by just a sample of your hair, will give them the information that they need to let you know what's happening with your body, because there's a lot of people that are taking supplements that they feel are good for them, but if you don't know what's going on in your body, you may be taking a supplement that your body doesn't need, and you might be doing more damage to your body. So everything that is good for you is not good for you, so you have to know when to take what, and how much to take. And there's a lot of people that are doing it on their own, and they're kind of overdoing it, and they're making themselves sick in other ways. So we'll be talking about all of that next Friday. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. I love you so much. Hasta la próxima. H. Adiós.